You ever felt like invisible chains are holding you back, weighing you down with unnecessary burdens? Imagine the freedom of letting go, of releasing what no longer serves you and stepping into a lighter, more focused version of yourself. Detachment is not about giving up, it's about reclaiming your power and making space for what truly matters. When we let go, we discover the strength to embrace change and the courage to face new opportunities with open arms. Picture your emotions as a ship anchored to the shore. By lifting those anchors, you allow yourself to sail toward a vast ocean of possibilities. True freedom comes from within, from understanding that your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, but on your ability to flow with life. As you walk this path of emotional detachment, you'll find clarity, peace, and a deep sense of purpose waiting for you. Letting go is not the end, it's the beginning of becoming your most authentic self. Join us on this transformative journey to discover the power of release and the beauty of true inner freedom. In this video, we're diving deep into the art of transforming attachment into a source of strength and freedom. Drawing inspiration from the timeless wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers, we'll uncover how to shift your perspective on the things and people you hold on to. Attachments often feel like anchors, but with the right mindset, they can become stepping stones to greater clarity and peace. Together, we'll explore practical strategies to let go of what weighs you down and embrace a life of balance and resilience. Imagine living with emotional freedom, where your happiness is no longer tied to external circumstances but rooted in inner strength. This journey is not about detachment as isolation but as empowerment, learning to value what matters without losing yourself in the process. Get ready to reshape how you see your emotions, relationships, and challenges, creating space for a more authentic and fulfilling life. Let's take this transformative journey together. Letting go is often misunderstood as giving up or losing something important, but in truth, it can be the first step toward discovering something far greater. Picture yourself gripping a rope so tightly that your hands begin to ache, your fear of the unknown convincing you to hold on no matter the pain. Now imagine the relief and freedom when you finally release that rope, only to find yourself able to grasp something far more meaningful and rewarding. This act of letting go isn't about failure, it's about opening the door to growth and new opportunities. In my own life, I faced a situation where I was holding onto a relationship that felt safe but also stifling. It wasn't easy to let go. I wrestled with fear, uncertainty, and the comfort of familiarity. Yet, when I finally found the courage to release my grip, I discovered a new world waiting for me. This world was filled with happiness, self-discovery, and possibilities I never knew existed. That moment taught me a valuable lesson. Letting go isn't an ending but a beginning. It's a declaration of self-worth, a statement that you believe in your ability to thrive even when the path ahead is unclear. Often, we hold on to things because we fear change or doubt our resilience. But the act of releasing what no longer serves us is an act of faith in ourselves, a leap toward the life we truly deserve. Letting go isn't about loss, it's about creating space for what aligns with our purpose and brings us genuine joy. Trust the process, and you'll find that the courage to let go can transform your life in extraordinary ways. When we allow ourselves to become overly attached to people or situations, we give away a significant part of our emotional freedom. It's as if we hand over the remote control of our feelings to someone else, giving them the ability to dictate our happiness, sadness, or frustration. This invisible power can deeply influence our lives, sometimes pushing us to make choices we wouldn't even consider if we were in a more balanced and grounded state. However, detachment isn't about being indifferent or uncaring, it's about finding a healthier perspective and assigning the right value to things beyond our control. Think of your emotions as a ship anchored in a harbor. While the ship is designed to navigate the open sea, explore vast horizons, and discover new opportunities, it cannot move if it's tethered to too many anchors. Each anchor represents an attachment, whether it's a relationship, a fear, or a need for external validation, that holds you back. By gradually lifting these anchors, one by one, you allow your ship to set sail, embracing the boundless possibilities that await you. Stoic philosophy offers a profound teaching here: focus your energy on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or detaching from the world entirely. Instead, it encourages you to approach life with a sense of balance and clarity. Start by reflecting on the things or people you feel overly dependent on. Ask yourself why these attachments carry so much weight in your life. Are they rooted in a fear of being alone? Or perhaps a desire for validation or acceptance? Understanding the core of these attachments is the first step toward regaining control of your emotions. Once you start recognizing and releasing these ties, you'll notice a profound shift in your life. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more in tune with your true self. By embracing the art of detachment, you allow yourself to move forward with confidence, unburdened by the unnecessary weights that once held you back. It's not about letting go of people or responsibilities, it's about reclaiming your emotional autonomy and navigating life with purpose and resilience. Imagine yourself walking through a tranquil garden, surrounded by the vibrant colors of flowers and the soothing melody of birdsong. With each step, you feel lighter, as if the burdens of the past are gently falling away. This garden is not just a place of beauty but a metaphor for your emotional journey, a space where detachment becomes a natural and freeing process. Every flower you encounter along the path symbolizes an opportunity for personal growth, while every fallen leaf reminds you of the power of releasing what no longer serves you. Detachment doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world or becoming indifferent. Instead, it is about creating space for transformative experiences and welcoming change with an open heart. As you walk, you realize that the act of letting go is not a loss but a gain, a gift of clarity, self-awareness, and newfound strength. Each step forward is a conscious decision to prioritize your inner peace over external chaos, to choose freedom over fear. This journey through the garden mirrors the journey within yourself. It is a process of rediscovery, where you peel away the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity to uncover your authentic self. In doing so, you find that true detachment is not an escape but an embrace of your own potential, your resilience, and your capacity for joy. As you continue, you notice the interconnectedness of all things around you, the way the flowers bloom effortlessly, the leaves fall without resistance, and the breeze carries a sense of renewal. This harmony reminds you that life flows more smoothly when you let go of resistance and trust in the natural rhythm of change. By practicing detachment with mindfulness, you open the door to inner peace. The weight of expectations, regrets, and fears dissolves, leaving behind a lightness that allows you to move forward unencumbered. This garden becomes a sanctuary where every moment, every choice, is guided by the wisdom of your experiences and the clarity of your heart. Let yourself wander freely in this space, feeling the serenity that arises from releasing old attachments. Each breath you take fills you with calm and purpose, while each step reinforces your commitment to living authentically. The beauty of detachment is not in closing off, but in blooming into the fullest version of yourself, rooted in self-knowledge and inner freedom. Imagine yourself standing in an open field beneath a vast, starry sky, where the universe stretches endlessly above you. The cool breeze whispers through the tall grass, carrying with it a sense of calm and renewal. Each twinkling star seems to hold a message of hope and freedom, illuminating the path to emotional detachment. With every moment you spend under this celestial canopy, you feel yourself letting go of the ties that have bound you to the past. Regrets, fears, and anxieties fade into the distance like shadows under the starlight. This is not a place of emptiness but of infinite potential, where releasing what no longer serves you creates space for growth, self-discovery, and peace. The act of detachment becomes a sacred ritual, an offering to the universe that reflects your willingness to trust in the journey ahead. You begin to understand that holding onto the weight of the past only prevents you from embracing the vastness of your future. The stars above act as silent guides, reminding you that even in darkness, light can lead the way. Just as sailors once relied on constellations to navigate uncharted waters, detachment becomes your inner compass. It directs your steps with clarity and confidence, steering you away from unnecessary burdens and toward the freedom to explore life without fear. Each deep breath you take in this open field reinforces your sense of liberation. You realize that detachment doesn't mean losing connection but rather finding balance. It's about understanding that some things are beyond your control and choosing not to let those things define your happiness or your worth. Instead, you shift your focus to what truly matters: your growth, your peace, and your journey. Standing there, under the vast sky, you feel a profound sense of gratitude for this moment of clarity. The immensity of nature around you mirrors the infinite possibilities within yourself. By releasing what weighs you down, you're not just letting go, you're creating space for what uplifts you, for what aligns with your soul's purpose. As you gaze at the stars, you recognize that detachment is not an ending but a beginning. It's the courage to let go of the familiar and step into the unknown with trust and hope. This open field becomes a symbol of your own inner landscape, vast and limitless, where every step forward is guided by the light of self-awareness and the promise of true inner peace. Imagine embarking on a deep emotional journey, where each step you take is a deliberate act of self-awareness and personal growth. This path is not always straightforward. Identifying your emotional anchors, the things holding you back, requires immense courage and a willingness to confront your inner truths. It means asking yourself hard questions and embracing the answers, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. Take a moment of quiet introspection to explore what ties you to the past. Are there unresolved fears, lingering insecurities, or attachments to situations or people that no longer serve your growth? Recognizing these emotional anchors is the first step toward liberation. Once identified, approach their release with compassion and kindness for yourself. Consider engaging in activities that nurture healing, meditation to center your mind, gratitude practices to shift your focus to the positives, and self-compassion exercises to remind yourself of your worth. These small, intentional acts create a foundation for breaking free from the emotional weight of the past. Each day on this journey offers an opportunity to let go of another layer of what no longer aligns with your true self. It's not about rushing the process but allowing it to unfold naturally, with patience and understanding. As you shed these emotional ties, you begin to notice a profound shift. Decisions become lighter, emotions feel more balanced, and the weight of past experiences starts to lift, making room for clarity and joy. Imagine the freedom of waking up each morning unburdened by yesterday's struggles, empowered to make choices based on the present and your future. This journey of detachment is not about forgetting or dismissing your past, but rather about transforming its hold on you. It's about reclaiming your power and using it to move forward with confidence and peace. As you progress, remember to celebrate your growth, no matter how small it may seem. Each step forward is a victory, a sign that you are becoming more aligned with your authentic self. This emotional journey is not a destination but a continuous process of evolution, one that allows you to live a life of freedom, ease, and fulfillment. Trust in your ability to let go, to heal, and to embrace the limitless possibilities that await. Imagine yourself in a moment of deep introspection, where you are face to face with what you believe to be your identity, your true self. It's in this quiet space that the layers of attachment begin to reveal themselves. The attachments we form over time, whether to people, experiences, or ideas, create invisible walls around us, walls that obscure the true nature of who we are. These walls are not made of bricks but of beliefs, fears, and conditioned thoughts, shaping our sense of self in ways that limit us. We build these barriers as a form of protection, a defense against the world outside, the judgments of others, and the possibility of rejection. But as we cling to these constructed identities, we gradually lose sight of who we truly are. We become so entangled in the masks we wear, masks of success, perfection, or even the roles we assume in our relationships, that we forget to ask ourselves what lies beneath. Who are we without the labels, the expectations, or the validation we seek from others? This is the critical question that challenges the very foundation of the walls we've built. The truth is, these false identities are not just limiting, they are an illusion that keep us from experiencing life as it truly is. Recognizing the stark contrast between who we think we are and who we really are is the first step in breaking free from these attachments. It's like peeling away layers of an onion, each one representing a false belief or a societal construct we've accepted as our truth. At first, it may seem daunting, like unraveling a complex enigma that permeates our psyche, but with each layer removed, we get closer to our authentic self. This process is not about losing who we are but rediscovering what has always been there, our core essence. By confronting these distorted projections of ourselves, we can begin to see beyond the walls we've created. We open the door to a new chapter of self-awareness, one where we are not defined by external circumstances or the opinions of others. In this space, we find the freedom to accept ourselves fully, flaws and all. Letting go of these illusory identities is liberating. It's like releasing the chains that have kept us prisoners of our own mind. As we shed these limiting beliefs, we allow ourselves to step into a more expansive, authentic life. This journey towards self-acceptance is not a one-time event but a continuous process. Each time we catch ourselves slipping into old patterns of attachment, we have the opportunity to pause, reflect, and realign with our true self. It's about reclaiming our power to define who we are, independent of the roles or identities we've adopted. With each step, we move closer to a life of freedom, inner peace, and genuine connection to ourselves and the world around us. As we break free from the constraints of these false identities, we open ourselves to the limitless possibilities that come with living authentically. Imagine yourself in a parallel universe, a place untouched by the constraints of time and space, where the essence of your being radiates pure, unconditional love. In this realm, there is no room for ego or external projections. All that matters is the authentic energy you bring into existence. Your very presence vibrates with a gentle yet powerful energy that flows effortlessly through everything and everyone you encounter. In this cosmic plane, every interaction is infused with compassion and empathy, creating a deep and meaningful connection with all beings around you. There are no barriers, no judgments, only understanding and mutual respect. In this reality, the need for external validation fades away, as you come to realize that your worth is not dependent on the opinions or recognition of others. You no longer seek approval because you understand that your value is intrinsic. It does not need to be earned or acknowledged by anyone outside of yourself. The search for external validation is replaced by an inner certainty that your mere existence is a gift to the world, a gift that does not require acknowledgement to be meaningful. This understanding empowers you to live freely and authentically, confident in the knowledge that you are enough just as you are. This elevated authenticity within you is like a bright, unwavering flame, lighting the way for others who may be lost in the darkness of their own doubts and insecurities. As you embody this true nature of love and light, you inspire those around you to reflect on their own lives and connect with their inner source of unconditional love. Your presence becomes a beacon, reminding others that they, too, can free themselves from the need for validation and live with the same open-hearted authenticity. By letting go of the desire for superficial approval and external recognition, you harmonize with the universal flow of energy. In this state, you become a channel through which love, kindness, and peace can flow freely into the world. Each soul you encounter becomes a reflection of your own essence, and through these connections, you create a ripple effect that spreads compassion and understanding far beyond your own immediate reach. In this space of unconditional love, you recognize that the journey is not about seeking outward affirmation but about nurturing the growth of the soul. You are a part of a greater cosmic dance, and as you shed the weight of external expectations, you become more attuned to the harmonious rhythm of the universe. As you move through life with this profound understanding, you become a powerful force for healing, transformation, and unity. Your path becomes one of spiritual evolution, where every step is guided by love, and every encounter is a chance to deepen your connection to the universal spirit that connects all beings. This is the essence of true freedom, living fully as you are, without the need for validation, shining your light for the world to see. Imagine yourself on a perfect sunny day, surrounded by the vibrant colors of nature. The sky above you is clear, and the air is crisp, filling your lungs with a sense of clarity and possibility. As the rays of sunlight gently touch your skin, they bring with them an overwhelming sense of renewal, warmth, and freedom. The world around you seems to be alive with energy, each moment infused with potential. It is in this peaceful, idyllic setting that you are confronted with an illusion, the illusion of the ego. This critical voice, almost like an unseen force, whispers in your ear, telling you that you are not enough, that you need the validation and approval of others to feel complete or worthy. It convinces you that your happiness depends on how others perceive you, making you feel small, insufficient, or disconnected from your true essence. The ego is like a shadow, constantly lurking, trying to cover your inner light, dimming the brilliance of who you truly are. This shadow tries to convince you that you must conform, prove yourself, and chase external recognition in order to feel validated. But when you stop and truly observe this illusion, you begin to see it for what it really is, a mirage, a false creation of the mind, built on fear and insecurity. The more you listen to these deceptive whispers, the further you drift from your authentic self. The ego feeds on self-doubt and comparison, convincing you that you are incomplete, that your value is defined by the judgments of others. However, by recognizing this illusion and unmasking the lies of the ego, you take the first step towards true freedom. It is only when you begin to see the ego's deception that you can start to break free from its control. The key is to stop giving power to this inner critic and start looking inward, recognizing your inherent worth, independent of any external measure. True self-confidence doesn't come from external validation, it is born from the deep understanding that you are enough just as you are. Your worth is not determined by others' opinions or accomplishments but by your connection to your own inner truth and light. As you shift your focus inward and begin to detach from the need for approval, you start to reclaim your personal power. Each time you resist the urge to seek validation from others, you free yourself from the chains of comparison and judgment. Every step you take toward overcoming the ego is a bold act of courage and self-acceptance. With each release of these attachments, you make space for your authentic self to flourish. You begin to bloom like a flower in full bloom, embracing all that you are without hesitation or fear. Your true nature, once obscured by the layers of the ego, is now able to shine brightly, radiant and unashamed. In this newfound freedom, you recognize that fulfillment does not lie in the approval of others, but in the acceptance and love you give to yourself. Your journey of self-discovery and self-empowerment is not about seeking external validation but about embracing the wholeness that has always been within you. As you continue to let go of the ego's hold, you are free to express your unique essence, to walk confidently in your truth, and to live a life filled with authenticity, joy, and fulfillment. This is the path to true freedom, the freedom to be yourself, unencumbered by the illusion of the ego, and to shine brightly in your fullest potential. Imagine yourself standing at the peak of a magnificent mountain, where the world stretches out before you in every direction. The vast horizon is wide and open, and the air is crisp, refreshing, and filled with a sense of clarity. As you stand there, bathed in the light of the sun, the breeze gently brushes against your skin, carrying with it a feeling of peace and freedom. With each breath you take, you are filled with a profound sense of self-sufficiency, as if the entire universe is supporting your existence. This is where you come face to face with the essence of true emotional detachment, a moment where you realize that your happiness and well-being are not dependent on anyone else or any external circumstances. In this grand, awe-inspiring moment, you come to understand that emotional detachment is not about pushing people away or closing yourself off from the world. Rather, it is about learning to trust yourself and recognizing your own completeness. Emotional detachment is about shedding the need to seek validation from others and understanding that your happiness is not tied to the presence or opinion of anyone. It is about standing tall in your own truth and realizing that you are enough, just as you are. This realization is a turning point, a crucial milestone in your journey towards inner peace and fulfillment. You no longer need to depend on others for approval or acceptance. Your sense of self-worth is not determined by how others perceive you, but by how you perceive yourself. True emotional detachment, therefore, is about coming into alignment with your authentic self, trusting your own judgment, and cultivating a deep sense of self-love and respect. Each step you take toward detachment is an act of courage, as it requires you to face your fears, release attachments, and embrace the uncertainty of life. It means letting go of the old patterns of seeking approval and validation, and instead, learning to embrace the freedom of being whole and complete on your own. As you let go of these emotional ties, you create space within yourself for deeper, more meaningful connections that are not based on need, but on genuine love and mutual respect. By internalizing this liberating message, you free yourself from the constraints of needing others to define your worth. You become the master of your own destiny, able to chart your own course without being tethered to the expectations or opinions of others. This newfound freedom allows you to explore new paths, seek new experiences, and live life with a sense of adventure and joy, knowing that you are fully capable of navigating the world on your own terms. In this state of emotional detachment, you learn to trust the flow of life and to respond to it with grace, confidence, and authenticity. The need for external validation diminishes, and in its place, a sense of inner peace and contentment blossoms. You begin to realize that everything you need to be happy and fulfilled is already within you. All that is required is for you to acknowledge your own worth and to trust in the wisdom of your heart. Through emotional detachment, you unlock your true potential, becoming more resilient, more self-assured, and more connected to the abundant, limitless possibilities of life. Imagine yourself stepping into a secret garden, a hidden sanctuary where each flower that blooms symbolizes a fresh start, a unique opportunity to reinvent yourself and embrace new beginnings. The air is fresh and filled with the sweet fragrance of life's possibilities. As you walk through this peaceful haven, surrounded by vibrant colors and delicate petals, you begin to reconnect with yourself and the essence of life itself. Every step you take is an act of care and self-love, nurturing the seeds of emotional detachment that have been planted deep within your heart. In this serene and healing space, you learn the art of letting go. Like a gardener tending to their plants, you recognize the importance of clearing away what no longer serves you. It's like pruning away the dead leaves of a plant, allowing space for new, stronger, and more vibrant shoots to emerge. These acts of release are not acts of loss but of profound transformation. By letting go of old attachments, unhealthy patterns, or limiting beliefs, you create room for personal growth and the blossoming of your true potential. The garden becomes your metaphor for self-discovery and growth. As you immerse yourself in this space, you realize that you are the architect of your own journey. With every mindful choice and intentional release, you cultivate a path filled with beauty and promise. Your journey is no longer guided by fear or external approval, but by a deep trust in your own ability to navigate the world with clarity and grace. You begin to realize that just as the garden's blooms bring joy to those who visit, your growth and transformation will bring light and inspiration to others as well. Each flower in the garden represents a new lesson learned through the process of detachment. Some flowers are bold and vibrant, representing moments of breakthrough and clarity, while others are soft and delicate, symbolizing the quiet moments of healing and self-compassion. Every experience of letting go carries with it a valuable lesson, whether it's about resilience, patience, or the beauty of allowing things to unfold in their own time. Each lesson adds to the richness of your journey, deepening your understanding of yourself and the world around you. As you explore this inner garden, you begin to open yourself up to the expansive beauty that comes with emotional freedom. You realize that, just like the flowers, you too have unique beauty and potential that can flourish when you let go of the fears, doubts, and attachments that once held you back. By trusting in the process of growth and allowing yourself to release what no longer serves you, you make room for the fullness of your being to emerge. This journey toward emotional detachment and freedom is not about turning away from the world or shutting yourself off from connection. Rather, it's about embracing your inner truth and finding peace within yourself. When you trust the natural flow of life and let go of unnecessary attachments, you begin to experience a profound sense of emotional freedom. Your inner garden becomes a place of peace, growth, and renewal, where each new day is a chance to bloom even more fully into who you are meant to be. As you let go, you create space not only for your own growth but also for the joy, love, and beauty you have to share with the world. Letting go isn't about giving up, it's about making space for something better. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, gripping tightly to a branch that has kept you grounded for years. The branch is familiar, but it no longer serves you. You hesitate, afraid of the fall, afraid of what might happen if you let go. But in that moment, as your fingers loosen, you realize that the fear of the unknown is what has been holding you back all along. In the instant you release your grip, a soft breeze lifts you up, guiding you toward higher ground, where the view is even more beautiful than you ever imagined. Letting go is not about falling into nothingness, it's about allowing yourself to rise to new heights. It's like holding onto an old map that no longer leads to the places you want to go. The map is comfortable, even though it's outdated, and you're afraid that without it, you'll be lost. But as you discard the old map, you find that a new path opens before you, one that is more aligned with who you are now, not who you once were. Letting go doesn't mean you lose something, it means you make room for something greater to enter your life. For example, I once clung to a job that felt secure but left me unfulfilled. The paycheck was steady, and the environment was familiar. But deep down, I knew it wasn't where I was meant to be. The thought of leaving that job was terrifying, but when I finally took the leap, I discovered a world of opportunity that I had never imagined, work that excited me, challenges that helped me grow, and people who supported my vision. The moment I let go of the security that had kept me stagnant, I opened myself up to the incredible possibilities that were waiting for me. Letting go is not a loss, it is a gain. It's about shedding the weight of unnecessary attachments, whether it's to a job, a relationship, or an identity that no longer serves you, and embracing the freedom that comes with release. It's not easy, and it takes courage, but it is the first step toward living a life of authenticity and fulfillment. Think of a tree shedding its leaves in the fall. It looks bare for a while, but in that emptiness, new growth begins. The tree trusts that the seasons will change and that, in time, new leaves will sprout. Letting go is a seasonal change in our lives, one that brings new growth, new experiences, and new joys. It's an act of trust, of believing that when you release the old, something better is already on its way. By letting go of the things that are no longer aligned with your path, you make room for new opportunities, for growth, and for the life you truly deserve. It's not about surrendering to fate, it's about actively choosing the life you want to live. It's about having the courage to step into the unknown, knowing that the universe will always support you on the journey to becoming the best version of yourself. When we become too attached to people, things, or situations, we give them power over our emotions. It's like handing someone else the keys to our happiness or sadness, allowing them to decide when we feel joy or disappointment. This is a dangerous game, because, over time, we lose control over our own emotional state. It's like letting someone else drive your car. If you aren't in control, you can't decide which direction you're going. Similarly, when we tie our emotional well-being to something outside of ourselves, we risk being tossed around by circumstances beyond our control. For instance, imagine your happiness is tied to the approval of others. You might find yourself constantly adjusting your actions, your words, or even your thoughts just to gain their acceptance. Over time, you lose sight of who you are and what truly makes you happy because you're always living for someone else's standards. This constant need for external validation keeps you anchored in place, limiting your ability to explore and experience life in its fullest. Think of your emotions like a tree standing in the middle of a vast field. If you allow too many attachments to form, like chains wrapped around the tree's trunk, you prevent it from swaying with the wind or reaching for the sun. But when you recognize these attachments and consciously decide to untangle them, the tree becomes free again, able to stretch higher and grow stronger. Detachment is like pruning a tree, removing the dead branches and unhealthy ties that no longer serve its growth. This isn't about stopping care or love, it's about knowing where to place your emotional investment. It's about recognizing that not everything deserves the weight of your emotional energy. For example, if you're in a relationship where you feel constantly drained, ask yourself, am I holding on because I'm afraid of being alone? Or am I afraid of letting go because I fear change? Once you acknowledge the root of your attachment, you can start to unburden yourself and regain control over your emotions. Imagine you're holding onto a heavy suitcase filled with unnecessary items. You carry it wherever you go, but it only weighs you down. Now picture yourself letting go of that suitcase, one item at a time, until you're walking freely with only what's essential for your journey. That's what emotional detachment does. It lightens the load, giving you space to breathe, think, and make decisions that align with your true desires. So, take a moment to reflect. What are you holding onto that no longer serves you? Is it a past hurt, an unbalanced relationship, or a situation that keeps you stuck? By releasing these anchors, you allow yourself the freedom to explore new possibilities, to navigate life with confidence, and to create the kind of happiness that doesn't depend on anyone or anything else. The more you practice detachment, the more in tune you become with your true self, free, balanced, and empowered. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, serene lake. The water is still as a mirror. As you gaze across the water, you realize it reflects not only the sky above, but the depth of your own soul. In this quiet, peaceful place, you begin to understand that emotional detachment is like the gentle ripples on the surface of this lake, small, subtle shifts that allow clarity to emerge. With each breath, you release the burdens of yesterday, allowing the stillness of the water to carry away the weight of past attachments. This lake, like your inner world, offers a reminder that everything you need for peace and fulfillment is already within you. The world outside may be turbulent, full of distractions and demands, but the deeper you dive into the stillness, the more you realize that you are the calm at the center of the storm. Detachment doesn't require you to disconnect from life. It teaches you to engage with life without becoming entangled in its ups and downs. Picture now a gentle breeze sweeping across the surface of the water, creating a dance of tiny waves that shimmer in the sunlight. These waves are the opportunities and experiences that come your way when you let go of the heavy emotional attachments that once held you back. Every wave is a new possibility, a fresh chance to learn, grow, and move forward. As you release the past, you create space for the present moment to flow in, bringing with it the gifts of personal transformation. In this journey of detachment, you begin to understand that life is not about clinging to the familiar, but about embracing the unknown with courage and curiosity. Like a tree with roots deep in the earth, you remain anchored in your true self, yet you are free to bend and sway with the wind, adapting to whatever challenges come your way. You are not defined by the people you meet, the roles you play, or the outcomes you expect. You are simply a part of this vast, beautiful universe, ever-changing yet constant in your essence. Letting go, then, becomes a practice of trust, not in others, but in yourself. Trust that you have the inner resources to navigate any storm and that each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you're meant to live. In the space created by detachment, you find room to breathe, to expand, and to discover new strengths you didn't even know you had. Imagine now walking along the shore of the lake, each step grounded in the soft sand, feeling lighter with each movement. With every wave that gently laps against the shore, you release more of the past, leaving behind old patterns, old fears, and old wounds. Here, you are free to explore who you are without the need for approval, without the weight of past failures or expectations. This is the beauty of emotional detachment. It is not about denying the world around you, but about embracing it from a place of inner balance and peace. By letting go of the need to control, to hold on to what no longer serves you, you step into a life of flow, where each moment is an opportunity to experience the richness of who you truly are. And in that flow, you will find your true happiness, not defined by what you have or what others think of you, but by the simple, beautiful truth of your own existence. Imagine yourself walking along a quiet beach at dawn, the soft sound of the waves caressing the shore. The sand beneath your feet feels cool, grounding you in the present moment. Each step you take leaves an imprint, yet the tide swiftly washes it away. This is the essence of emotional detachment. Like the waves, your attachments to the past may have left marks on you, but with each new wave, you can allow them to be gently washed away, leaving you with a clean slate. As you walk further, you notice how the ocean stretches endlessly, much like the possibilities that await you when you release the weight of your attachments. Each wave represents an opportunity to start anew, to embrace the flow of life, and to allow yourself to be carried toward new experiences without the burden of holding on to what no longer serves you. Detachment doesn't mean losing your connection to the world. It means no longer being chained to the past, no longer carrying emotional baggage that prevents you from walking freely. With each breath you take, you feel a sense of peace and clarity washing over you. You realize that, just like the tides that come and go, emotions and situations also pass through your life. Some leave traces, while others disappear without a trace. But none of them need to define who you are. You are not your past mistakes, your failures, or the pain you've experienced. You are simply a soul experiencing the ebb and flow of life, learning and growing with each wave. In the distance, the rising sun begins to color the sky with hues of pink and orange. The sunlight reflects on the surface of the water, creating a path of light that stretches across the ocean, inviting you to walk towards it. This path of light symbolizes your potential, the limitless opportunities available to you once you free yourself from emotional attachments. The more you let go of, the clearer the path becomes. Detachment is like walking along the shore. Each step you take is one of liberation, a movement away from the constraints of fear, doubt, and external expectations. It's about trusting in the natural flow of life and surrendering to what comes, knowing that each wave of change brings with it new lessons and growth. As you walk, you realize that true peace comes not from clinging to the shore but from allowing yourself to float, to trust that the currents of life will guide you to where you need to be. Just as the sun rises, bringing warmth and light to the world, detachment brings a sense of inner warmth and clarity to your life. The more you detach from the need for external validation or control, the more you connect to the boundless, radiant energy within you. You are not a prisoner of the past or the opinions of others. You are free to chart your own course, to live authentically and joyfully. And as the sun fully rises, you stand tall, feeling the breeze on your face, grounded by the beauty of the present moment. You are free, no longer held back by the past or the fear of the unknown. In this freedom, you discover the truth of who you are: radiant, expansive, and limitless. Your journey of emotional detachment has opened the door to a life filled with peace, joy, and endless possibilities. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a calm lake, the water mirroring the vast sky above. As you look into the stillness of the lake, you realize that it reflects not just the world around you, but your own inner landscape. Each ripple in the water represents a thought or emotion that disturbs your peace, but just as the water eventually settles, so too can your mind. The journey of emotional detachment begins here, in the quiet space between your thoughts, where clarity and peace await. As you step closer to the water, you start to recognize the emotional anchors that have kept you tethered for so long. These anchors are like rocks in the lake, weighed down and hidden beneath the surface, invisible yet heavy. To move forward, you need to gently lift these anchors, one by one. It may be difficult at first, but with patience and grace, you start to free yourself from the burden of past regrets, fears, and expectations. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs with fresh air, and with each exhale, you begin to release the hold these anchors have had on you. The act of letting go is not an abandonment, but a return to your true essence, a return to your power. As you let go of old fears and limiting beliefs, you create space for new experiences, new opportunities, and a deeper connection with yourself. Now, as you walk along the shore of the lake, you realize how much lighter you feel. The weight of emotional baggage that once held you back is now lifting, and you begin to feel more in tune with your own energy. You are free to walk in the direction that feels true to your heart, without being swayed by past influences or the need for validation from others. You stop and take a moment to reflect on the progress you've made. This journey isn't about perfection, but about learning to embrace each step with love and understanding. The path may not always be smooth, but each challenge presents an opportunity for growth. Just as the seasons change, so too do you. You are constantly evolving, shedding old layers of fear and insecurity, and revealing a more authentic version of yourself. As you continue walking, you realize that detachment doesn't mean isolation, it means embracing the present moment fully, without being weighed down by past emotional baggage or future anxieties. It's about living with clarity and purpose, knowing that you are in control of your emotions, your choices, and your life. Each moment is a new opportunity to connect with your true self and to live from a place of deep inner peace. By practicing self-compassion and gratitude, you begin to nurture your soul. You honor your emotions, acknowledging them without judgment, allowing them to pass through without clinging to them. This is the art of emotional detachment, a practice of releasing what no longer serves you and welcoming the present with open arms. You are worthy of peace, joy, and freedom. Letting go of the past and the emotional anchors that bind you is not just about shedding weight, it's about stepping into your true power and embracing the limitless potential that lies ahead. With each step forward, you create a life that is uniquely yours, free from the constraints of old wounds and fears, and filled with the light of possibility. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, tranquil ocean, the waves gently lapping at the shore as the horizon stretches infinitely before you. You realize that the ocean represents the depth and vastness of your true self, waiting to be explored and discovered. Yet, as you stand there, you notice something, the reflection of the sky in the water, a mirror image of what you perceive to be your identity. But this reflection is not the full picture. The water is clouded with sediment, obscuring the clarity beneath. The sediment in the water represents the attachments, the roles, and the false identities that you've clung to over time. These identities, whether shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, or the opinions of others, are like layers of dirt that cloud your perception of who you truly are. As you stand at the water's edge, you begin to realize that these masks you've worn, these false projections, are not who you are. They are simply illusions that have accumulated over time, created to protect yourself, but now they serve only to hold you back. As you take a deep breath, the wind whispers through the air, reminding you that the true self is like the vast sky above, boundless and free, untouched by the illusion of the reflection in the water. Slowly, you begin to remove the layers of sediment, allowing the water to clear, to reveal the unblemished surface beneath. With each passing moment, the reflection becomes more accurate, more aligned with the truth of your being. It's as if the ocean is gently guiding you to remember who you truly are, beyond the masks you've worn. This process of letting go is not an act of loss, but of reclamation. By releasing the attachments that no longer serve you, you begin to shed the false identities that were never truly yours. These identities were created to fit into a world that may not have always understood or accepted you, but now you stand before the water, ready to accept the real you. The masks of perfection, approval, and external validation slowly dissolve. You begin to feel a sense of freedom, like the ocean breeze, flowing gently around you. As you allow these false identities to drift away, you uncover a deeper sense of peace and self-acceptance. There's no need to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. You are enough, just as you are. In this moment, you come to understand that emotional detachment doesn't mean shutting down or withdrawing from the world. It means breaking free from the illusions that keep you tied to expectations and fear. Just as the ocean holds space for the waves to come and go, so too does your true self hold space for your emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. You realize that you are not defined by the labels or judgments that others may place on you. You are the ocean itself, vast, fluid, and constantly evolving. Now, standing at the edge of this open sea, you feel a sense of liberation. You have confronted your distorted perceptions and allowed the truth of your authentic self to emerge. The journey of self-knowledge has not been easy, but it has been necessary, and it has led you here, to a place of deep peace, where you are no longer shackled by the expectations of others or the fear of rejection. The only thing left to do now is to step forward into the infinite horizon that awaits you, unburdened, free, and fully aligned with your true essence. Imagine yourself stepping into a vast forest, where the trees stretch endlessly, their branches weaving together to form a protective canopy overhead. The air is rich with the scent of earth and fresh leaves, and as you walk deeper into this serene space, you begin to feel an overwhelming sense of peace. In this place, your true essence is no longer bound by the constraints of time or space. You are one with the energy that flows through every living thing around you. As you continue walking, you notice how each tree, each flower, and each blade of grass seems to resonate with its own unique frequency, yet they all contribute to the harmony of the forest. You are no different. Your essence, once veiled by the noise and distractions of the outside world, is now fully present and alive, radiating an energy of pure love and connection. In this moment, you understand that your worth is not measured by the judgments of others or the need for external validation. You are enough, just as you are. The need for approval from others fades away as you realize that your authenticity is a gift in itself, something that adds to the beauty of the world simply by existing. Each interaction you have in this forest, whether with a creature, a plant, or the very wind that brushes against your skin, is an exchange of love, compassion, and understanding. In this space, there is no room for ego or pretense. Everyone and everything is seen for its true nature, without the need for validation or acceptance. The air around you hums with a quiet knowing that you are part of something much greater than yourself, and this realization fills your heart with peace and gratitude. You find that by letting go of the need to seek approval, you open yourself to a deeper connection with life itself. Just as the trees grow and thrive in harmony with the natural flow of energy, you too are aligning with the universal rhythm, becoming a channel through which love and light flow freely. Your presence, unburdened by the need for external recognition, becomes a beacon of authenticity and truth, inspiring others to step into their own light. As you walk further into the forest, you see others on their own paths, some lost in thought, others embracing the quietude of the moment, but all connected through the same underlying essence of love. You realize that by letting go of the search for validation, you are contributing to the collective harmony. Your love, freely given, flows outwards, touching every soul you encounter. It's no longer about what others think of you, but about how you contribute to the greater whole. In this space, you are no longer bound by limitations. You no longer measure your worth by achievements or the approval of others. You are an expression of unconditional love, unencumbered by fear or insecurity. You have discovered the beauty of being true to yourself, of allowing your essence to shine brightly without the need for external affirmation. The deeper you journey into this forest, the more you understand that love is the force that unites all things. By letting go of superficial needs and embracing your authentic self, you align with the greater flow of life. You are part of a cosmic dance, one where every step you take in love and light becomes a contribution to the spiritual evolution of the universe. And with each step, you invite others to do the same, creating a ripple of love that extends far beyond the boundaries of this peaceful, eternal forest. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, flowing river, the water moving freely in its natural rhythm, unburdened by anything that tries to hold it back. As the current rushes past, you feel the breeze against your face, cool and refreshing. The river symbolizes the flow of life, ever-changing, yet constant in its movement. In this moment, you are reminded of the power of letting go. Just like the water, you too have the ability to move forward, shedding the weight of past judgments, opinions, and fears. As you look deeper into the river, you see reflections of your own life, moments when you have allowed the ego to dictate your choices, when you have clung to expectations or the need for validation. But the water, clear and undisturbed, reminds you that true peace comes when you release those attachments. The ego's voice may try to distract you, telling you that you need more, that you aren't enough as you are, but just as the river flows without resistance, you too can let go of these false beliefs and move with ease. Take a moment to observe the beauty around you, the trees, the flowers, the birds soaring above. They do not question their worth, nor do they seek approval. They simply exist in harmony with the world. And in this harmony, you begin to understand that your own worth is inherent, not dependent on anything outside of yourself. You are a unique expression of life, just as the river is a unique path in the landscape. There is no need to compare your journey to anyone else's. Every individual flow is equally significant in the grand design. The ego may tell you that you need more achievements, more recognition, more praise. But by embracing the present moment and appreciating who you are right now, you dissolve the illusion of lack. Imagine yourself becoming like the river, effortlessly flowing, without hesitation or fear of judgment. The true you shines brightly, like the sun above, without needing to prove anything. You are already whole. The light you seek is not something you need to acquire from others, it is within you, waiting to be revealed. Let this realization wash over you like the river's water, clearing away any doubts, fears, or insecurities. With each breath, you feel lighter, freer, more connected to your true self. You understand that the need for external validation is a false belief. You no longer have to seek approval or recognition from others to feel complete. True fulfillment comes from within, from embracing your authentic self and trusting in the journey. As you continue to walk along the riverbank, you see the path ahead is clear. The river flows freely, and you too are free to continue on your journey, unburdened by the ego's demands. You are confident in your own worth, standing tall like the trees around you, fully rooted in your truth. With each step you take, you are more aligned with the natural flow of life, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, without the need for anything more. In this moment, you embrace the beauty of your own existence and recognize that true peace lies in letting go of the ego's grip. You are free to flow, to grow, to be. And in this freedom, you discover a sense of fulfillment and joy that no external approval could ever provide. Just like the river, you are a part of something much greater, moving effortlessly through life with grace and authenticity. Imagine now that you're standing in the midst of a vast forest, where the trees rise high above you, their branches swaying with the wind. Each tree, with its roots firmly planted in the earth, is a reminder of the strength that comes from grounding yourself in your own essence. The forest is serene and quiet, and as you walk through its paths, you feel a profound connection to the world around you. In this peaceful environment, you realize that just like the trees, you too can stand tall and strong, independent of the external forces that once tried to sway you. The forest represents a space where growth occurs naturally, without effort or force, reminding you that true detachment is not about cutting yourself off, but about allowing your roots to grow deeper into the soil of your own being. As you walk along the forest path, you notice that the trees shed their leaves at the end of each season, allowing room for new growth. This natural cycle mirrors the process of emotional detachment. Just as the trees release what no longer serves them, you too can let go of old patterns, limiting beliefs, and attachments that weigh you down. Each fallen leaf symbolizes the freedom to move on, to embrace new seasons of life. You understand that by releasing what no longer serves you, you create space for new opportunities, new experiences, and new chapters to unfold in your life. In this forest, there are no comparisons, no judgments. Every tree is unique in its shape and size, and yet they all stand tall together, thriving in their individuality. The forest doesn't demand approval or validation from anyone, it simply exists, in perfect harmony with itself. And just like the trees, you begin to realize that you don't need anyone's approval to feel complete. Your worth is inherent, not contingent on how others see you. You are enough, just as you are. The deeper you walk into the forest, the more you feel the weight of your past attachments lifting. The dense canopy above you allows the sunlight to shine through in soft beams, creating pockets of warmth on your skin. These pockets of light represent the moments of clarity that come when you embrace emotional detachment. In this light, you see clearly that your happiness is not something to be found outside of yourself. It has always been within you, waiting to be realized. As you continue your journey through the forest, you begin to understand that detachment is not about removing yourself from the world, but about becoming more deeply connected to your true nature. It's about walking through life with a sense of inner peace, knowing that you are not dependent on anyone or anything for your fulfillment. Like the trees that stand firm in their roots, you too can stand tall in your own strength and authenticity. With each step, you feel more free, more aligned with who you truly are. The forest, in all its quiet beauty, becomes a metaphor for the journey of self-discovery and emotional liberation. You realize that just as the forest grows and evolves with each season, so too can you. The key is to trust in your own growth, to release the need for external validation, and to embrace the peace that comes from within. And so, as you walk through this forest, you begin to understand that the path to true emotional freedom is not one of isolation, but one of deep connection to yourself. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you open yourself to the fullness of life, ready to experience each moment with a heart that is open, free, and full of love. You have learned that true detachment is not about closing yourself off, but about opening yourself up to the beauty and possibilities of life, in perfect harmony with your authentic self.